Welcome to the live stream. Yes, this is another live stream, and today we're gonna discuss or gonna showcase that nice add-on, right? That nice add-on which was available early this week. And here it is, Stranger Things. Now the first thing we're gonna look at is how you can get it, because that's probably a question which you could have. Well, if you go to the marketplace, you can see that you can get it for free. If you press that option, you will go to this window and there you will be able to buy it. But as you can see, I already bought it, so I don't need to buy it again. So I simply can, I would say, start playing it. So the nice thing is that the add-on does not only provide these nice activities, it also gives you a new helicopter, the Bell UH-1H Huey. If you click it, you can say, of course, select it and configure it. If I press configure, you can see that I can do multiple things. Multiple things as in I can change it between cargo and the rescue hoist, but also you can change the liveries, because the helicopter comes with multiple liveries. It of course comes with the Hawkins heli tours, it comes with the official one, with some army liveries, right? Total 6 or 7. 8. Then we've got the camouflage ones, which are also there, the navy ones, which are there, and the rescue ones, which are also there. So pretty nice that they have added this. So let's see what happens if we're gonna play it, right? To play it, to be honest, I already tested it, of course, prior to starting this live stream, and I prefer to use my Xbox controller because that works the best for me. It could be, of course, that you're using a different controller. In that case, I would say select a different one, right? Select a different one. Maybe your, I would say, a joystick, which you already have. I wouldn't try it with your keyboard because it's likely pretty hard. I also wouldn't try it with, for example, the Velocity 1, which also likely doesn't work that good, but with the Xbox controller it works. Now, if we press the activities, we can see that we've got the Stranger Things next to the Red Bull Air Race, and once you start it, you will see a nice window popping up here, and also the sound will change. Hopefully you can hear the sound. Let me test it on my, I would say, on my other machine to see if you can hear it. But here you go. This is the sound which you will get. So with this, right, you can see that I can change it to the training mission, or to Murray's mission, or to Hawkins heli tours. Those are the things which you can, I would say, adjust. And that's, well, pretty nice. The training tour, let's first start with that one, right? This one allows you to practice, let's say, flying in the helicopter. And flying in the helicopter is really, let's say, difficult. But the good thing is that they released some nice things in Flight Simulator 2024 as part of Sim Update number 4, which makes flying a little bit easier compared to, I would say, flying normally. So this is the part which I would say where they explain all things. Right, hopefully you can hear all the sounds between my, I would say, so I will kind of silence myself, and then you can hear what they're saying.
We're here to help Hawkins, and you're here to help me. The Helitour stuff was nothing but a distraction for the feds. I do love the jingle, though. Bit of an earworm. Anyway, look, there's more military patrols crawling over this town than cockroaches in my great aunt's apartment, and getting in and out of this place isn't exactly...
So I need to fly, apparently, right? So let's give it a try. Let's see if we can, let's say, go airborne with the helicopter. Again, I'm playing using the Xbox controller, which I think it works the best in this case. But if you've got a different controller, let it know via the chat window, so I can have a look at that. Joystick also, because I'm really curious about how that one looked like. This is the Hawkins helicopter, right? So I'm gonna simply press ready to fly. And then it will give me certain instructions. You can see the instructions on the right top where the mission steps are. It says instructions, and then it will give me some instructions on what I need to do. So for those who don't want to start the engines manually, you can press the Ctrl and the E key, which will simply manually start the engines. And then it will wait for the engines to start, right? If we, I would say, we kind of hover across the, or next to the helicopter, you can see multiple things, right? It's pretty cool. It's a nice helicopter, as you can see. Nice livery. There are some persons in it, including the pilot and the co-pilot, of course. So let's see if we can get this thing airborne. So simply need to wait for the engines to start. That will take some time, unfortunately. It will take a little bit, to say, longer than hopeful than I expected. But once the engine are running, right, then this item will move away and then we can follow the next instructions. Now the trick for this helicopter, as with all helicopters, is that you kind of, say, be very careful with throttling. Because if you throttle too much, it will go wrong, right? You will go super high or super low if you decrease throttling, and then of course you will crash. So here's also an explanation about this, right? The useful instruments that are the airspeed, the power, the RPM, the fuel, and then of course you got the gauges. Now in my case you don't see them. So let me explain why that's the case. Because hey, there is a reason for that. So if I go into the settings menu, I can change multiple things, right? I can change the flight interface. And inside the flight interface, you can adjust certain things. You can, for example, switch on certain things, but also, I would say, switch off certain things. So in my case, I switched off the, I think it's the, let's say, is it this one? No, let's go further down. It is not the wake turbulence visualization. It likely is the CFD, but it could also be that it's another option. I'm always getting, I would say, kind of, let's say, lost in his interface. Maybe it's indeed in the camera one. Just figuring out. Here it is, toggle external, right? The external HUD where you can switch on those items. Now the home cockpit mode, right? You can also switch it on, but that's not always required. So make sure that if you don't have these options, right, instrument view mode or the instrument view selection, then make sure that you're switching on those options if you prefer those items, but I always prefer to have them off. It really is a preference what you, I would say, depending on your own preference, you can enable them. And then you can say, for example, set the HUD in cockpit view on or HUD in external view off. This is the one which I was looking for, right? So I can set it to full now. So let me go back. And then we're going to the helicopter. So now we've got all the meters which we want, right? So sorry for it, kind of confusing you. It was in that menu. So once more, I will show it to you. Go to the settings. And inside the settings, now I'm lost again. Go to the camera. And there you will have the, where was it? It was... Oh, my friends, it was over here. HUD in external view, that needs to be set to on or to full or to minimal. Then you will have this nice interface. Here you got this interface, right? You can reset the view and then simply increase the throttle. And now we can say, keep an eye on the meters, right? We can say, hey, it needs to be 40%. That's good. And then 100% feed AGL, and that's good. And now it says, okay, here we need to take off. Well, the question is, what's takeoff, right? So what we will do is we can turn around, right? We can turn left, we can turn right, as you can see. So we can change our direction into the training area, because that's where we need to go to. So in this case, training area is that way, a little bit further. We're good. So next step is change the collective to 50%, which is this nice yellow angle. And then you can see that the aircraft, or the helicopter in this case, starts to increase. And then we can simply start flying. And this is how easy it is if you're using the, I would say, helicopter. That is really, I would say, relatively easy. The thing which you need to avoid is pushing it too much to the front, because then it will decrease the altitude. You can also see that currently the airspeed is increasing and increasing, which is good. So let's fly to the area, and I need to stay under that 500 feet, right? So that's on the right side. You can see the altitude, right? So I'm not sure why it's not, say, going crazy, because we're already at 1500. But maybe I would say, let's push it down a bit. And then likely the plan is that we need to follow this. So we're going to decrease the throttle. Set it to 30 degrees. So be very careful, because you can see that it goes pretty quick. And of course we don't want to crash. So slow down, simply pull back the joystick, which will reduce the speed also. And you can see if you press it, I would say, completely backwards, it will go completely slowing down, but also it goes higher, right? So that's something which you need to be aware of. So now it says hover above Sparky between 20 and 80. Well, Sparky is below us, that's Sparky. So let's turn the helicopter around. And then I'd say decrease the airspeed a bit. And then turn around further. And then push it forward a bit. So we can kind of go to Sharky. In the meantime, we're still, say, at good altitude. Well, we need to decrease a bit. And then we need to go into that hover mode. Which is, I think it's still is pretty difficult. But that might be me. I also don't fly that much with helicopters. Let me know in the if you fly a lot with helicopters, right? Let me know in the chat. Do you fly a lot in helicopters? And then please feel free to add that to your to the chat. So now we're going there, right? We simply need to move a little bit forward. So let's do that. You can see you need to make small changes because the helicopter will go down pretty quick. And at one point you need to see, okay, hey, what's the idle, let's say, hovering? And the idle hovering is roughly, let's say, around 40-ish. Then you can see you can hover around. And then we might need to, oh, here we go. So now we did it. So it's good. And that was the rescue training, right? So do we need to do something else? Well, let's stay here. Bring cat close to Sharky while hovering. So we're gonna, let's say, change this a bit, because likely one person will try to rescue the other one. Pretty cool, isn't it? So they're now trying to, let's say rescue each other, or at least one person tries to rescue the other one. But you see that you need to keep the helicopter still, because else she will, say, start moving around. So also based on this we need to kind of decrease. But no, watch out here, watch out, watch out. So here we go, 40 degrees, oh, 40. So we're gonna move our direction because we need to fly a little bit back. So let me know in the chat box if you already, would say, figured out this scenario, right? Did you already, let's say, were able to rescue this person? Did you already fly some missions? Because I'm really curious about that. So we're now hovering again. But likely we need to be in the full circle here. Come on. Go downwards. Are we too high maybe? Let's see. Maybe we're too high, maybe we're too high, I don't know. Now we landed. That was not good, right? So any hints or tips, feel free to drop them in the chat box, because I'm really curious what I'm doing wrong. Likely I'm doing something very stupid, but hey. Let's give it one more try. Giving it one more try to see if we can rescue, in this case, Sparky. But it looks like there's an error, right? If you see her hanging here, there's something not, say, good. But maybe I'm also far too low. Let me increase altitude a bit. And also I'm simply calling color today for this mission, because I'm really sick. I don't know how to resolve it. Well, let's call it a day for this one. So you've got the idea what you need to do. The other thing which I, of course, would say kind of screw up is that I missed, say, saving that person. So you can go back to the strangers menu and then you find the Murray's missions. Those missions are, let's say, not always very hard, but they're simply nice, right? So let's start with the first one. I already completed the first two, I would say, prior, but I'm simply going to refly them again because I think it's funny. Also, let me know if you hear the sound of the helicopter good enough. I will also ask it via chat.
What's up, you misfit lot? Ready to play Santa's little helper? I'm delayed outside town and need you to drop something for me in the suburbs. 2530 Maple Street. Normally I'd avoid flying in residential neighborhoods, but believe me, this one's urgent.
So this is the fly, right? We need to go from your position to 2530 Maple Street and then to the quarantine exit. Well, let's give it a try. I'm gonna simply press OK and then we're gonna go. So seeing more people joining the channel, right? 2, 1. I see some chats. It's also nice, right? So thanks for, I'd say, joining, but also thanks for, I'd say, chatting. If you want to chat, feel free to do so. Everybody should be able to chat. I didn't block anything. So let's first take off. We're gonna take off. We're gonna set it to 50 because we're gonna take it to 50. But be careful because you need to stay below 300 AGL because else you're screwed. Then the, I would say, alarms will go off, and then you will get, I would say, a lot of people going behind you or going after you, I should say. Now also the second thing is that here's the quarantine zone, right? Or the quarantine zone, not sure how you pronounce it. So we're gonna enter it. Once we enter it, we need to find that house. And that house is over there, right? It's one nautical mile in front of us. You can see that we're flying pretty fast, right? 100 kts. So we can also, let's say, kind of already slow down a bit. Because I already know what's going to happen, but you don't know, right? So the idea is that we need to search that house and then land pretty close to the house. So what we're going to do is we're going to reduce, I would say, our speed already. Here's the house. Here's that Maple Street, right? So we found it. At least. There it is. And you can see that we're flying too high. So if that happens, there's no worry. Because if you're, let's say, going down, right? Going below that altitude, there's nothing to worry about because it will not go directly, the alarm, but it will go pretty soon as that bar goes off, right? As soon as that red bar goes off, then you're, between brackets, screwed. So I'm gonna turn the helicopter using the buttons on the joystick. Not sure if a real helicopter pilot would do that, would do it like this, but hey, there's the house. Now we need to watch out, because there are also trees. So what I like about the flying using the Xbox controller is that you can really easily change the views. So we're gonna move back a bit. Oh, we closed. I would say we landed closely to the residence house, but we're good, right? We completed everything. And then we're spontaneously here, which is likely a bug, and then we can take off again. But again, be careful, because if you're going to increase the throttle too much, then you're flying too high, and that's of course not what you want. Also be careful, because I just almost hit the tree, so be careful about that. And then you think, okay, now it becomes easy. But it doesn't become easy because there's, I would say, a nice patrol car coming in. So what you need to do in that case is stay very low. That's the first thing. So stay very low, like this, and then fly this path. So the path is, I would say, pretty easy to do. It says also fly below the trees. So you need to fly super low, right? Which is, I would say, kind of hard. So you need to watch out that you're not crashing. Luckily, if that happens, there's, I could say, a good thing. That it will bring you back to the latest, I would say, kind of checkpoint. So you're not completely screwed that you need to start the mission from scratch. No, you can do that simply from the, I would say, point where you left. And that really is, again, nice, which allows you to, say, prevent that you need to redo everything. So you can see whether we're going too fast. So here's the exit. So we're now out of the quarantine zone. Hey, and hey, Murray approved, so we survived mission number 1. So mission number 1, I would say, is not that hard, to be honest. I found it pretty easy also when trying it for the first time. I can already tell you that mission number 2, which is the next mission which we're gonna fly, is a little bit harder. There are multiple reasons for that. First of all, you need to fly very low. Then you've got some other things which are popping up during the mission, which doesn't make it really nice. So let's go to and let's hit start flying. We first likely need to pick up someone from the, I would say, warehouse, and then see what's going on, right? So let's do that. So here we go. So I'm gonna press ready to fly again, and then we're going airborne. Again, watch out with the throttle. Don't increase too much, because then you're going too high, because likely we need to also stay very low. Yes, below 300 AGT. This one is also pretty cool from scenery perspective, because you can see the thunder and lightning. You need to watch out between the trees, right? Because it's a little bit, let's say, rocky here. A lot of mountains, which suddenly increase the, let's say, height of the towers, of the trees, of course. Not sure. So we're almost struck by lightning. I do think that officially you shouldn't even fly with this weather, but it still is, let's say, doable in Flight Simulator, because hey, it's Flight Simulator, right? But normally I would doubt if you can fly with this weather. So we're going over here, right? We're going and go to the warehouse, because that's the spot where we need to go to. So let me know what you think of this add-on, right? Do you like it? Did you already try it out yourself, or are you still on Flight Simulator 2020, which of course can also be the case? I would say, let me know in the chat box. So fly to the warehouse, we're almost there. You can see the lightning over there, pretty cool. And then we need to find the smuggler. So what we're gonna do is we're gonna decrease the helicopter speed. So it looks like that we already found the smuggler. Yeah, there he is, or there he or she is, because I don't know if it's a he or she. So we already decreased, I would say, a lot of speed, which is good. So now we're gonna move slowly to that area where we need to go to. So we're gonna, say, increase the RPM again, because also we're crashing into the trees. And then slowly move. And that's the difficult part, right? Slowly move with a helicopter and with me. I'm completely, I would say, convinced that it likely is also me, which is part of the issue. And then use the RB or LB and RB key. Or was it LT? Well, I'm not sure. Let me have a look at it. To move around the helicopter, right? Again, I do recommend to play this on a, let's say, Xbox controller, or using an Xbox controller, because it's, I would say, much easier to do. So we landed safely. Gives me also some time to look at the keys. So, correct me, it's RT and LT. So the LT moves the aircraft or helicopter to the left, the other one moves it to the right. So here we go, right? We survived this first part. So let's take off again. Keep in mind, set it to 40 or something, which should be good enough, and then you can fly around. Now, the nice thing is that there's a nice road, right? So you can challenge yourself and fly over the road. Watch out, because there are some, say, trees also very pretty close. As you can see, that was a tree. So now you also saw that I was a bad. So watch out there, because you will hit those trees and then you will of course crash, which is not something you likely want to do. So we're going to take off, and then you need... Come on, second crash. Not good. Not a good example. So I'm going to move the helicopter a bit. And then try... Well, three times strike. Right, so let's do it again, and let's see if we can now survive. Maybe I should simply, let's say, gain some more altitude. So here we go. But I can't imagine that the mission will be this easy, right? Likely it will become a little bit more difficult. It's pretty cool, right? The weather is, I would say, so nicely, let's say, created. All those thunderstorms, etc. It looks super cool. It makes it so realistic. We need to increase the altitude a bit because the trees are pretty low here. And then we are at the quarantine area here. Right, we are entering the quarantine area, and then we need to continue or fly to the Squawk radio. Squawk radio is 1.8 nautical miles from here. So let's say try to fly there. Again, watch out that you're not going too high, but also watch out for the trees. So what I figured out is that, let's say in this case, this is the difficult part. Because now you need to decrease speed super fast, but also try to land somewhere. Now this is the part I was struggling with for a while, to be honest. Because I was saying I was not sure where I could land, right? I could put down the helicopter here, but I was not sure if that's, I would say, the right spot. So let's try it again. Because maybe the cops are coming to here, right? I'm not sure. Let's try it. So we did land. Now it says RB and the... Okay, now we need to hide. So you can see the instructions are pretty clear. The instructions are also pretty correct. So that's also very useful, right? So here it comes with all kind of things. All kind of red lights. I'm really, would say, scared. How are you doing? Are you also scared about this? I'm not sure. Well, it looks like that we survived it. So maybe we can, would say, kind of go airborne again. Yeah, so we're good. So let's wait for the instructions, right? Gonna press the RB key again. And then switch on the engines. And now we need to wait. This is, I would say, this will take some time, right? So let's look around here. Let's look at the helicopter itself. Helicopter, pretty cool. You can see the passengers inside. You can see also the nice reflection of the lights. But also if you look at the, I would say, helicopter details, it's pretty detailed if you look at the inside, but also the outside. Strange thing is that we're always using the outside. I do think that it's related to if you're playing on a console, it might make more sense to fly like that. So now we're good, right? So we're going to increase the speed again to 40, and here we go airborne again. And now we're back on route to the Squawk radio, but I do have a feeling that something will happen again. I'm not sure because, let's say, yesterday evening I was playing this and was kind of fed up with landing somewhere that I would say kind of switched off the machine. But now we can go again and see how it works. So let's see if we can go airborne and fly to that nice Squawk radio. There's also a river below us, right? Also you can see the water is super nice. I like Flight Simulator 2024 massively. It's pretty stable. Today there was a small fix released which fixed some issues. I'm not sure, would say, if it were really critical issues because I didn't encounter any of them. But hey, it's so good to know, right? So here we can see we're now at the Squawk Tower, right? So let's Squawk radio. Oh. So now it says that we need to, so watch out that you're not going too fast, right? Watch out, land close to the tower. Okay, let's do that. Let's give it a try. So let's push the helicopter a little bit to the front, but also don't decrease the power too much like I did. So what I figured out is that 40 is kind of stable, right? Then you're kind of hovering, and if you're going, I would say, a little bit further, then it will, let's say, increase the altitude a bit. And then you can simply, let's say, move around with that joystick and then, let's say, first hover. And once you're hovering, then you can simply slow down the point. Because now we're too high, right? You can see directly it starts, let's say, tickling down. And now we're good. So we're going to decrease. And I press the B key on the joystick. Very slowly, because what I figured out also, if you go down too fast, it's not good. And believe me, it's really not good. You will crash super hard. I'm not sure if we're, let's say, landing close enough, but hey, I also don't want to land too close. And here we go. We've now landed. And hey, let's see if we now complete it, right? So we need to press the RB again and then turn off the engine. And then likely also press the brake.
One step closer to getting this radio tower back into biz, and it only took 100-mile-an-hour headwind to get the job done. Take a breather, but don't put up any footrests. This isn't a vacation. I'm warming up Santa's sleigh and headed into town. Things could get messy at any moment if the storm.
So pretty cool. You can see the storm is indeed very close to the city, right? It's really crazy. So again, Murray approved, right? We survived the second mission. And this is not where we stop, because my mission is to pass all the missions before the end of the stream. And we are just busy 30 minutes, right? So let's go to the next mission. Let's see what that brings us. Truck overload is called. That's the third mission in the, I would say, Stranger Things add-on, the downloadable content, which by the way is free for Flight Simulator 2024 users. So you can simply download it or select it and then buy it. You don't need to download everything unless you're having, I would say, kind of a wobbly internet connection. Then I would recommend you to download the update or download the package, because that will likely, I would say, perform a little bit better. So this becomes a night flight. As we all know, night flying is, let's say, super difficult. So let's see if we can get the aircraft airborne. We can toggle the night vision by pressing the Z on the keyboard, which brings it to this view. That's pretty nice. There's no keyboard or there's no, I'd say, controller on the Xbox which you can press, at least not by default. So we're going to go into the quarantine zone again. Here we go. Simply loving this, right? So we're gonna try to stay very low. You can see that the speed goes rapidly pretty high, so also watch that one. I had one time, if you go back, say a few minutes in the video, you can see that I once went in the yellow zone, and that's not very good for your helicopter, of course. That's not what you want. So we're gonna go to the Palace Arcade, right? 0.4 nautical miles. So let's start decreasing a bit.
Wait, Paladin, I think I can hear you. Visibility's better. You can turn off the night vision.
Then we can press Y. It's pretty strange that it says that I now need to press the Y. But hey. And then watch out, if you're decreasing speed, you will very soon go above that 300 AGL. And that's not what you want, because if you're too high, then they will catch you at one point and then you're screwed. So let's go down a bit. Now that we're good, we can, let's say, kind of, I would say, hover around and see if we can do our next step in our mission. Next step in our mission is doing something. Likely we need to pick up some cargo. Here we go. So slowly move around the helicopter. It says here between 10 and 30 AGL. So let me increase the altitude a bit. Not too much. So this actually is a pretty good mission to, let's say, practice your landing skills, right? Wait for the hook. So now we're connected, but I also see something else which I don't want to see. You saw the package? The package wasn't that good, right? So fly to the tower again. So here we go. Watch out that you're not gonna increase too fast and not gonna increase your altitude too much, because that's not what you want. There's also now something behind us, right? Because it says that red zone, which means that something is, I would say, pretty close to us, and then we need to move away from it. So let's turn around a bit and then let's see how far we can come. This I would say is not the hardest part likely, hopefully, but I do suspect that something will happen soonish. I would say when we're flying. Also watch out because you now have some packages under your helicopter which will likely, if you hit the tree, it will well, it will have an effect on the helicopter, right? So we're moving around and let's see if we can go to the tower. Avoid the Max Z. Not sure what that was, but maybe it's the, I would say, lightning or something. Let's try to not go into the lightning. Because likely they will spot us then and then we're screwed. Here we go, we're almost there. You can see that red zone in the top left map. That means that there's danger. So watch out that you're not flying too close to that one, because then they will come and catch you. And again, that's not what you want, because you don't want to be catched. Because if you're catched, then there's gonna happen something. See people leaving and returning in the stream, so thanks for watching the stream. This stream we're trying out the Stranger Things. We're already busy with the third mission. It's really fun. So let's see if we can also kind of survive this one. We're gonna decrease our altitude because we're flying too high a bit. Watch out. You'll also hear that bleeping sound, right? That bleeping sound means that something is not good. So we're gonna turn the helicopter a bit. Turn it a little bit more. And then you can see we're slowly decreasing altitude, which is good. We're not in a hurry because the missions are not timed, right? So which is, I would say, good. Because if you will be timed, then it will be much harder. Maybe that will be, I would say, in the next part or so. I'm not sure. So here we go. We dropped it. And then we need to land. Well, let's land over here, right? So let's press the letter B. And then slowly reduce throttling. So if you put it to 20, then I would say the landing is pretty smooth. As you can see, there's nothing happening. And then we can switch off the engine again. You need to press the keys a little bit longer. And then you're good. And if you don't want to see the night view, you can press the letter Z from Zulu on your keyboard. And that makes it easier, right? So you can switch between the multiple modes. Again, Murray approved. That's good, right? We completed 3 missions already. 3 out of 5 because there are 5 included missions in this mission pack. And the other missions are simply photo missions, which can also be pretty nice. So let's go for the red tremors. That's the next mission. See some more people are joining, so thanks for watching the stream. Say, hope you liked it. If you like it, feel free to also drop some chat messages in the chat box over here. That's fine for me, because I always like some interaction. I keep an eye on my chat, but it's sometimes pretty hard. So in this mission we need to go from our position to the quake zone, and then again back to the squawk radio. This initially looks simple, but believe me, something will happen, because that was the case also with the other parts of the missions. In every mission something happens. Mission 1 is kind of easy, mission 2 becomes a little bit more difficult. And this one likely will become even more difficult. Here we see the passengers in the helicopter, right? One is managing that, I would say, hook, and the other ones are, I'd say, simply watching. So let's press ready to fly, and now we're gonna go airborne. So again, 250-ish, that should be enough. And then we're gonna go to the quarantine zone. Be careful, because you still need to stay below that 300 AGL. I also do recommend you to switch on these views, because these views, right, these I would say airspeed, power, RPM, altitude, they can be switched off, but for this mission, or at least for the way I'm flying, which is the default way of flying in these missions, it's almost, I would say, a hard requirement to have them, because else you will be, let's say, having a real challenge, because you can't see what's happening. Well, of course, you can see if the aircraft, would say, kind of is flying too high or something. But hey, here we go to the quake zone. So we're gonna do, let's say, a low flyover. Staying as low as possible, that's my tip for these missions, because that will help you. So here's the quake zone. Right here you can see the quake zone. Looks pretty cool. Approach the quake zone. And now what do we need to do? It looks like that we need to do something, but I'm not sure what. Right, so let's stay pretty close to the quake zone. Watch your altitude, because you can see if we're going too high, then we're kind of screwed. So this still is the quake zone. And I'll follow the river. Well, we were lucky, because I followed the river already. Check the vehicle. So let's do that. And to check the vehicle, right, the vehicle's over there. Again, keep an eye on your altitude, but also keep an eye on your speed, because you want to kind of slow down. So there's the vehicle, right? So the vehicle is there. Let's say, let's decrease, because else we are getting screwed. So here we go again. Let's look at the vehicle. Well, I do think that we need to do something with the vehicle, but that's a guess, right? Because you can see Bernie is there. Well, that's not good, Bernie. You shouldn't be there, so let's help you out. So now let's see if we can save Bernie. I would say, for those who looked into this mission, or in the training mission, which I performed, I would say, some time ago, in the start of the stream, I think, you saw that it was pretty, I would say, horrible to save that one person. And now I need to save another one. So let's see if I can, in this case, be a little bit more successful. So still need to decrease. So decrease altitude, right? Simply put it roughly to 20 until you're on the correct altitude, and then slowly increase. So here we go. And then I would say the one person saves the other one. No, Bernie was lost. So we didn't make it, right? See how surprising those missions can be. So what you need to do is be pretty quick, because else Bernie gets, let's say, not burnt, but something, I would say, not so good happens with Bernie. So here we've got, in this case, Cat, and Cat will try to save Bernie.
She's in trouble, quick.
Let's see if we can now do it. I don't think we're gonna make it, because we're simply too far away. Right, the helicopter is moving too fast, and then we're not doing it correctly.
Don't screw up. The gas is burning way too close to that car.
Now Cat is burning.
Car's gonna blow. Hurry.
We'll make it. Hurry, guys.
Yeah, now we're screwed. Ah. Now we're screwed ourselves. Yeah, so we crashed. So a second try. So this one is, as you can see, is not as easy as you think, because hey, initially I thought also, hey, can't be that hard. But you can see that it's a real challenge to say kind of stay above that stone. So you need to make small corrections, and likely my corrections were a little bit too big. So maybe we should say try to change the angle of the video. the camera. Sorry. Come on. See, now I'm getting frustrated and then things will go wrong. So the trick is really don't get frustrated. But hey, that's easier said than done. We know, all of us know. So let me know via the chat box if you already would say, did something right. Did you complete already a mission or not? So let's go a little bit lower in this case. Maybe that's a trick. So I see someone saying that it's better just get in as you... Okay. So do you still hear it, Mr. Casey Pribble, or is it still hard to hear? Because as I can switch on or turn up the volume of the simulator itself. And I'm not finishing up, I'm just getting started.
She's in trouble. Quick!
Fire's ready. Watch the flames.
Don't screw up. I'm down.
I've got him. Ah! Wow, that was lucky. You saw it?
Guys,
Yeah.
Bernie's here. We got her.
You're amazed by what you're seeing. Let me know what you're amazed by. Oh, now I'm going too hard. About my flying instructions or my flying skills or...
It's all on you. We're out. Let's move. Searchlight off. Let's explore.
What? Did... Go out.
Don't ask me to explain what just happened
Stay silent.
or what we just saw.
Product wasn't downloaded yesterday. Oh, let me... first three, mister, I will need to keep attention on my screen now and then I will read your message. So here we go.
Down there had me freaking out.
So you downloaded it yesterday. Well, that's good.
Damn good reason to leave us high and dry.
Oh, thanks for the compliments. Volume is perfect. Okay, that's very good. So, again, as mentioned, right, for those who are just joining, my recommendation is to really use the Xbox controller if you have one, or a joystick to use this aircraft, because that's so much easier to fly. Also, don't forget to switch on those, let's say, nice instruments on the bottom. If I've landed, I will show you how you can switch it on, because I do think that in this case it helps you. I tried it first without them, and that made my life really horrible, because I was thinking, okay, hey, why am I flying too high? Why am I flying too fast? And of course you can go inside the helicopter, but I would say that could be indeed the next step, which you could try. In my case, I prefer to fly like this, and I do think that since this is the default view, that's also kind of the way Asobo and Microsoft are positioning this, because hey, it's more, I would say this is really almost likely more like a game, like which you play on the Xbox or PC, and not really, I would say, flight simulator, right? Although I still would say love to do this. This is, I would say, is more, let's say, game mode, or not sure, or arcade mode, not sure how I should call it. But I do think that's a very smart move, especially now they also moved, I would say, moved over to the PlayStation. That, I would say, likely attracts a lot of, I would say, users, I would say, if they're adding these kind of missions. So I do suspect that in the future we can expect more of these kind of things, of course, depending on the licensing. That also brings up the question, okay, hey, what happens with the licensing for the other downloadable contents, like the Doom package and the Top Gun one? I do hope that they stay in. But it would be nice if they can, I would say, give some other content, right? Some new content for those packages. But I doubt that it will happen soon. So we're gonna decrease and then we're gonna land, right? So we're now landed. I'm not sure if it is close enough. Yes, it's close enough. We're good. Then pressing the RB and then press the key down. So while we're waiting here, right, let me show you once more where you can switch on those instruments. If you go to the settings menu, you can go to the camera, and inside the camera menu you scroll completely down, and there you've got the external camera view, which is the view which I'm currently using. In this case you won't find the instruments here, right? You can see the instrument view mode over here. But now I see that I simply, I screwed it up again. I'm simply showing you the incorrect view. It's this one. You need to go to the external camera view in the fly interface and then switch this one to full or to mini. So again, go to the flight interface external camera HUD in external view and then switch it on. So it's so easy, but I completely get lost each time when I look at this. So let's see, we've got one mission to go. So we completed most of the missions. So Casey, how many missions did you already complete? So we completed 4 of them, 4 out of 5. So let's go to the next one. The Rescue Rift. Not really a chopper guy. Okay. Yeah, I'm also not really a chopper guy, to be honest. I would say flying the chopper has become easier with Sim Update number 4 because there are some more, I would say, help systems included, which I would say we maybe as both as non-chopper pilots are liking, but maybe also not. I'm not sure. But it makes it easier to fly a helicopter, which again could maybe convince us to fly in a helicopter. So let's go ahead. Let's go and let's turn on the 1 to 40 and then we can move forward. Again, here we need to stay below that 300 AGL, which is something which we can do, and then we're gonna move or throttle or say joystick forward. It's still, the weather is really bad, but hey, here we go into the quarantine zone, right? 0.22, and now we need to go to the junkyard. So the trick really is with these packages is stay as low as possible. The second thing is that decrease the LRD speed as much as possible if you're coming closer to the zone where you need to be, because what I figured out is if you're doing it like I do, then you're increasing altitude massively like this, and then you will, I would say, could be screwed. And I again say could because it really depends. Now here's the junkyard, which is good. Then I need to increase the speed a bit. And let's turn the helicopter. So maybe Casey, you can ask your friend how you can decrease the altitude or decrease the speed using a safe method. Not the way I show you, because I'm pretty sure that if he sees it, he says, okay, that guy is completely crazy. You hear that beeps, and those beeps are warnings. I figured it out. Well, let's say trying it out before this live stream yesterday evening, and then I figured out that, say, if you're having too much bleeps, then you're screwed. You can start from scratch again. So we're gonna try to kind of say stay a little bit on the same altitude and move slowly forward, because likely we need to do something here. I'm not sure what. Look for Sparky. So Sparky, where are you? We've got the lights switched on so we can see it. Sparky, where are you? Push the joystick slowly. Also watch out. It almost looks like Sparky's over there, but... or could he be over there? I'm not sure where he is. So watch the altitude, because you can see that we're going slowly down. Where is Sparky? If you spot him, let me know, because I don't see him yet. I don't see Sparky yet. Where's Sparky, my friends? If you see him, then let me know. What's the altitude again? Follow the rift in search. What's a rift? I do think that I understand it. So likely the rift is over there, right? So likely the rift is the this. Maybe Spark is on another spot, right? Let's figure out. So I'm not native English, right? So sometimes I would say rift doesn't tell me anything. So if you know what the rift is, then type it in the chat box. And then let's help me out.
That's massive.
Oh, there is rift. Right there he was. So Spark is likely somewhere there. Again, watch your altitude. You can see I'm too high, and if I'm not lowering the altitude, it will cause all the alarms being set off. And that's definitely not what you want to happen, believe me. So we're trying to move over to that rift, because likely Spark is over there. And then we probably need to hover again. My favorite hobby.
Worry, still nothing. Except this awful hole.
And that's exactly where you need to search.
Wait, don't tell us he's in that thing.
Hurry, you knew about this and didn't tell us? I didn't have a choice. Fly in there or Sparky's done for, and so are we. Okay, let's do this.
Okay, enter the rift. Now it becomes scary. Enter the rift? Are you crazy? Well, let's try it again. Yeah, I'm closing in indeed. I'm also not sure. Oh, this is what you need to do.
Good luck, my friends.
Okay.
Crap, comms are dead. Dang, seems we're on our own.
So now we need to watch out, because we now need to stay below 150 AGL.
Right?
We must have. Whatever this place is,
Yeah.
into it. Let's find that Sparky guy, and then we're out of here. Keep your eyes peeled.
There's no clear
Possibilities are
indication where we need to go to. Fly to the junkyard. Okay.
Let's start here.
It's so
I think it's a pretty weird mission, to be honest, if you ask me.
it's everywhere.
Looks just like
Because where is Sparky?
better be cautious with the bird, Captain.
Proper scared now. Yeah, me too.
That damn place is even messier on this side.
He must be hiding somewhere.
Watch the altitude. Dropping, dropping, dropping. It almost looks like we're in a different world now. See other people also chatting, right? Laughing as U4, performance is great, much greater than X-Plane or XP12. Yeah, I can't, I would say, I can't judge on that because I never played that one. I have once had a look at it, at the previous versions. But then I thought, okay, hey, yeah, I was not sure if I want to continue playing 2 flight simulators. So then I eventually decided to, say, stay with Flight Simulator in this case. So here's Sparky, right? So we're good. Now we need to, again, recover someone. And then we're gonna go into the difficult part, which is hovering. Because Cat's gonna save him. Well, believe me, I would say this is likely the hardest part because you need to stay, I would say, pretty close to the boss. Oh, also there's a demon. Shit. Sorry for the wording. Now it really becomes difficult, right? Now I'm really gonna get scared. No, we didn't save Sparky, my friends. Sparky's got being picked up by the, let's say, demon. So you need to be super quick with this part, because else Sparky will be, let's say, attacked by the demon. And you won't survive it also. So maybe the trick is flying a little bit lower. And then see if we can get Sparky over here. Likely we're a little bit too low now. Ah, no, not too high.
Don't you dare leave me with that thing.
You got your kiddo. Promise.
Secured. Up we go fast.
We're stuck. What's going on?
Voice is jammed. What do I do? What the hell do I do?
Okay, Higgins. Take it.
I need to stay stable. Scary. Waiting for Higgins to hoist.
You see that? Wings. Lots of them.
Paladin, get out of their path.
Oh, Higgins, come on. Seriously, what happened?
You see that? Wings. Lots of
Oh, they're over there, right? I need to move away because else I'm
Danny, hurry. They'll shred us.
Just a sec.
else I'm screwed. So you need to level off the aircraft because else it'd say it won't happen. Fly back to the rift. Here we go. Feels very scary, right? This scene. But it's still, I would say, I'm pretty amazed by all the, I would say, work which they've put into this. Not sure what you think about it, but I do think it's pretty cool. So you need to watch out for those things, because they're not your friends. Go into the rift. And now you can do this. You shouldn't be scared, you can simply fly into it as it looks like. Doesn't hurt. So here we go. So likely we're now back to the, let's say, normal side of the world. And you can see the normal part of the world looks so much better. Exit the upside down and then leave the zone. Here again is watch out because you likely need to stay below that 300 feet altitude. It's just leaving the zone. Okay, we don't see any, let's say, marks.
You with no words. That's a first.
So I'm not sure where we need to fly to be honest. Or maybe this was simply it.
We picked up Sparky and got out of that
Could also be. Oh, there he is. Also, look at this part, right? It looks so super cool. Oh,
Like he's the bad guy.
watch out.
True. This is way bigger than we thought.
It sure was something. I'll tell you that. Nice work, Paladin.
It looks like that the altitude restriction is not applicable anymore. It looks like, but I do get a strange feeling that something will happen soonish. I'm not sure if it will, but let's see.
Never thought I'd say it, but I'm happy to hear your voice, Murray.
Well,
Now we need to watch out because you can see that the airspeed goes pretty high.
I may have sent you somewhere a little less ideal than Grandma's house, but it was
And now we need to land at this tower, right? So land at this tower and see what happens.
Lieutenant and get our cutting community.
You can see that we're now going so fast.
You know, I'm not one for giving out kudos, but I know a few kids in town who give you a
So the safe kind of, I would say, RPMs is around 40-50. Don't go higher because then you really are going to go crazy to control the helicopter. The nice thing is if you're starting to descend with that B key, you will also see that the speed will drop. But you still need to make some corrections. I asked, I would say, one of the watchers whose friend is pretty good in flying helicopter on how to do it correctly. But this is how I did it. So we now did complete all the 5 missions in the pack, right? So everybody's happy. So you can still retry those things, right? You can still replay those missions if you want. I didn't do it, but you can see that I completed all 5 of them. Super nice, super cool. But there's more, because we've got that last part which we can look at. Which in this case is the Hawkins heli tours. This is a package or a part of the package where you likely will need to make some screenshots, right? You escape at any time, fly to exit the map and track your real-time position. Each successful photo will be added to your Hawkins, I would say, folder. These are the things which you need to complete. You can see all kind of logs here, and those logs are simply referring to if you already completed it, yes or no. There's also that how to play, which you just saw, but for now we're gonna find the Hawkins National Lab. Let's press select. So we're currently here, and Hawkins National Lab is already here, so shouldn't be that hard. At least that's what I'm saying now. But let's see if we can complete it. So for those who are just tuned in, I'm playing using the Xbox controller because that's, see, I'm pretty happy with that. So we're gonna say shift and then the V key. And now we can take a cool picture of the point of interest. Then also always the question is, what's the goal of the picture? Because that's always a challenge. I'm not sure how you think about it, but they should have been some more descriptive about how you should make those pictures. Okay, we've got one, right? Good. Let's shift V again and let's go outside of the mode. And then go to the next one. And you can also press the LB and the RB, as you can see, if you're playing using the Xbox, because then you can also switch to that nice mode. See a lot of chats, right? So the chat goes correct. I see people dropping in, dropping off. Can imagine that I'm a little bit too late with this, because yesterday this package was already released and a lot of people are likely, just like me, trying it out as we speak. So here we go. Next picture. The next picture is... well, we can stall our squash. Let me try one thing, because they said you can always move to the next one, right? And that's where you see the subtler quarry. That's the one we need to do next. So let's press these keys and then let's try to make a cool picture out of this. Yeah, also good. Let's see if we can make it ourselves a little bit more difficult. Because I would say, who from my, I'd say, viewers already completed all the photo missions in Flight Simulator 2024? I'm really curious about that, because I found some missions to be pretty, I would say, pretty hard to collect. It could be due to the, I'd say, descriptions, but could also be due to other things. I'm not sure. So here we are at the next position. And at the next position, right, you can simply see, okay, hey, let's say move around the, let's say, helicopter and then, or the drone, I should say. Junkyard. To be honest, I think this is a little bit too easy. But hey, what's next? Oh, there are some point of views, but also there. You can see the scenery is also pretty cool, the water, etc. The reflection in the water is pretty nice. So here we go for the next position. The next position, I'm not sure what it is. So press the key. I'm moving down. We can try it from here, but I don't think this one will survive. No. Because there's nothing in besides some nice trees. The cool thing about this mode is that you also can look at the details. You can see that they really spent some serious time on, let's say, creating the, or recreating the scenery. Sometimes you need to move a little bit more up. And now we completed the Creel house. Creel house. That's good. What's the next one? Oh, there it is. Let's go to that one. Already? Whoa. Let's try to not crash. And then press the keys again. Here we go. Which one is this? Super nice car in front of it. Show a little bit higher. Yeah. So as soon as you see this, right, you see the this one, then it's good. So let's move around. Then we're going to the next one, which is over there. And can see we're doing simply a city tour to the missions. So pretty nice, I would say, a nice add-on, which you can do. Hopefully it will at one point be pretty clear which ones you need to fly, because you can see that as soon as I'm going, I would say, coming into the neighborhood, they will place those red dots on front of it or on top of it, and that might make it pretty difficult to, I'd say, figure out. No, this photo upload failed. Come on. Yay, next one. And then we've got this one also, so let's do this one directly. You can see this mode is, if you ask me, I do think it's too easy. Hey, there was one here, right? Yeah. The Wheeler house. So, by the way, did anybody watch this series? Because I didn't watch it yet, but I'd say maybe it should be something which I need to put to my, I'd say, to my watch list. Come on. So if you're too far away, like I am, then you need to fly a little bit further, and then you can use this nice option from the drone itself to make that nice picture, which is required for you to complete the missions. And here we can see that nice van, and here we can see that nice house. Object validation. Here we go. Check in the box. Next one. Let's move to that part. I'm wondering if there is an easy way to validate which ones you completed. Oh, we can try to take this one. Oh, it's too far away. Okay, Bradley's, and then we had one over here, but I do think that we're a little bit too far away from this. So let's see. But maybe we're just close enough. It looks like the Henderson house. The Henderson house. It's good. Oh, and you can see all kind of the green check marks. So that makes it easy to figure out which ones we need to do. Maybe there's also, let's say, a nice gift or some nice, let's say, thing, right? You've got those, let's say, awards which you can get if you complete, for example, flying a certain amount of hours in the dark, etc. Maybe they also have someone for this or something for this. So for those who are just tuning in, we already completed all the 5 missions in this nice downloadable content, which is the Stranger Things add-on for Microsoft Flight Simulator 2024 only. So those who are still on 2020, you can't use it, unfortunately. But if you're on 2024, you can use it. You can download it for free because it's for free. You don't need to pay anything for it. The cool thing is that you get also that nice helicopter, which I will show you in a few minutes again. And that nice helicopter is the Huey helicopter. You get it in 2, I would say, configurations. One with the hoist and one with the cargo. I would say, yeah, the cargo hook. And there are also multiple liveries. I'm not sure how many because I lost the count, but I do think if there are 10 liveries included, let's say I'm pretty close. Next to that, you've got those 5 missions which you can play, as well as this mission or this photogrammetry mode, which you can use to kind of practice your photographer skills, but also say simply fly around, right? I'm not sure what I need to picture here, to be honest. I'm pretty sure there was something, but I'm not sure what I need to take the picture of. Let me go back. Let me go back and then have a look at it again. Whoa. Watch out. There we go. So you can see that we're still flying pretty low, right? Say depending on the if there are mountains or not. So it was somewhere there. Oh, here we have something. Likely we need to take a picture of this. If you look at this, right? If you look, so you saw the camera changing, let's say, kind of the, let's say, focus. It's so super cool. So let's fly to the other ones. And you can still see there are a lot of series, I would say there are a lot of pictures in it, right? So don't underestimate that you will be done quickly with this package, because there are so many pictures which you need to take. In total 46 pictures. That will likely take some more time. Just also watching the clock, right? We're already 1 hour and 50 minutes busy with this package. I'm not sure if I will simply complete everything, but hey, maybe I should do it for fun. Let's see how far we can come. Because in some case you can do it pretty smart and fly somewhere in between and then take 2 pictures with the drone, right? That makes it easy for you. And also, let's say, reduce the time required to make these pictures. Because in this case you can see that the Haas family was kind of easy to take. The other ones might be harder to take. So we're now at that radio tower, which we used a lot in the missions. Likely we need to get a little bit closer. Even closer than this. Or maybe we should have that tower fully in the picture. Not sure what they want. Oh, that was it. So you need to stay a little bit above the ground and then you can take the picture. And I would say I'm missing really those details where they are very clear on what the photo needs to be about. Because I do think that it's sometimes a little bit figuring out yourself. Although, hey, else you would complete the mission super fast. And then we've got this one. Hopper's cabin. And then we're on to the next one. You can see now the speed increases, right? The speed of number of pictures we're going to take is increasing massively. This one is also, it would be beautiful, right? You can see the sun going down or up. And here we go for the next picture. Picture number 17 already. Picture number 17 is the photographing Hawkins point of interest. And here we go again for the picture of the truck of the police at the Hopper's trailer. So do we have anything around us? No. So then make the turn to the left side. So for those who are just watching or just tuned in, we're flying the Stranger mission and we're trying to get all the 46 pictures which we need to have. And not just for fun, because hey, we simply need them. Because I want to see if we're getting some bonus thing or some award like the Xbox award, Xbox things which are popping up, right? Those completions like, hey, you did fly a certain amount of hours during the night, etc. I want to see if we can, I would say, also earn that. We're at the Munson and Mayfield trailer, a little bit too high. So tip is also fly low because it makes it easier to guide the camera, and then you're also pretty, I'll say, you can complete this part really fast, potentially. Sometimes a little bit puzzling about what you need to do. But now we can see that we're making a lot of progress already. 19. Number 20. Here we come. Number 20 is Roan Cemetery. Sounds really scary. Let's see if we can make a nice picture from this. And of course I'm now making super fast pictures, but you can change yourself also, right? Make it super, I would say, super nice picture, super realistic. Maybe with some, let's say, nice, let's say, out of focus pictures, or for example. I'm not, let's say, really a photographer. I completely admit that. But hey, let's see. Then we're gonna move back a bit. Oh, let's take this one also, because it's on the route. It's on the route to our next destination. So we're trying to complete all the pictures. We're at number 20 already. So it goes pretty fast, I must say. That's also due to the fact, of course, that those things are, I would say, marked, because else it will be a lot harder. Also, there are no special instructions like the picture mode in Flight Simulator 2024, the normal missions. But hey, in this case, I would say it's easier. Although I would have liked some more description about, okay, hey, where was it used for? Because for me, I would say, as a non-Stranger Things watcher, I would say I'm making those pictures, but I have really no clue what happened during the series in that. So maybe it would be nice if they add that as description or something, or at least describe who's living in the house, etc., and what, let's say, kind of the area is from that. So likely we need to go a little bit higher, maybe a little bit closer. So we're gonna go to number 22 already. We're making progress. So let's see if we can turn the helicopter a little bit more and then, I'd say, increase the speed a little bit. And then let's figure out which ones we need to do next. I did think that I did have that one. Let's double check. Yes. So let's go to the next one, which is in front of us. Although it could be that we simply already completed them. Right, we're flying at 200 something AGL, which is good. We're going to increase the speed a bit. Not too much, but we're gonna increase it a bit. You can see the scenery is pretty detailed, so that's also the bonus which you get because they updated the scenery for this specific part for Flight Simulator 2024 as part of that downloadable content for Stranger Things. I think they did a great job, but that's me. I would say maybe someone lives in the city or lives close by the city and can tell us, because we're now pretty close to the Turnbow house. Let me go a little bit further. Here we go. Turnbow house. Let's see if we can screenshot it nicely. As long as you don't see that validating, it's not correct. So take as much pictures as possible. And then once you see this, then you know that you're good. And then you can continue to fly to the next part. And the next part is in this case likely this lake. Maybe we can. This looks super cool, right? With the helicopter in the frame. Lover's Lake, that's what this location is. And then with that, we're also pretty close to the next one, which is over here, which we can take a picture of. Let's move to this position a bit. Which is this one, also nicely situated. So we're good, we're going like crazy. 24 pictures, done. Whoa, watch out with the helicopter because we don't want to crash. So for those who are watching, right, we're trying to complete all these things. The nice thing is that you can see all kind of the green check marks for those items which you already, I would say, did complete. You can see that there's one a little bit further, I would say, out of the way. Also, we have this Lipton house. So I'm gonna go for Lipton house and then see if we can go to that one. So I'm gonna press escape again and then turn the helicopter a bit because we need to go over to Lipton house. Lipton house is over there. You can see the scenery is really nice. Also doing the missions. And I'm not sure if some of the watchers are still here. I would say which were, part of that part. I would say part of this video, because there you really had, I would say, those thunderstorms, etc. It looked super nice, super realistic, super cool. I'm not sure if you would normally fly with a helicopter during that weather, but it was amazing to fly during that weather. I really love to do it. So we're going now to that mountain, which is over there. Because the mountain is the almost one of those points which is, let's say, pretty far away. So we're going to increase the throttle bit to 40 and we're going to increase speed a bit. So we're going to fly faster to this point. And that's really, let's say, nicely. Also we can see the road over here. You can see the other parts. And then once we're close enough, we press that. We are going to exit that photo mode. Right, here we get the photo mode. Let's go into it now. And then I'm gonna go down with this nice camera. And then we're gonna take a nice screenshot or picture of this. Let's see. Validating. We're good. So we can turn around. Here we go. And then fly in the direction of the city again. Because we just completed this one. Now let me double check where we are. So press the escape button and there you can see where you need to go to. In this case, Lipton house. It doesn't have the check mark. Oh, likely I made a picture of something else. So I need to go back to Lipton house. Let's do that in that case. The closer you come by the houses, then there will be some labels above it. And also those check marks, so which will help you, let's say, confirm if you already went there. Of course, you could also use the map like I just did to make sure that you're, let's say, on the correct spot. Here we go for Lipton house, Lipton house, Lipton house. Here we go, almost there, heading. Photo mode. Pretty sure that we did have this one already. Well, now we have it. Okay, exit the photo mode again. Then we're going to, should we do these or, well, Let's stay in this neighborhood. I'm wondering if the people like this, right? That we're flying with this nice helicopter above their, say, apartments and houses. So we're now at Loch Nora. Going down again. So at 26, so only 20 to go. Loch Nora, not sure what it is. Maybe it's over here. Oh, here we. Yeah, that was the Loch Nora. So likely we only need to take pictures of the access gate. No, we also need to take pictures of Holly House. So you can see you can make different pictures, I'd say in different, from different angles. And sometimes you need to try it a bit. So try out which is the best mode and which is the accepted picture mode. Because not always those pictures are accepted. Right, and of course it's up to you. How do you want, what you prefer to do. I'm doing it this way, but you can of course always decide to do it differently. And here's a nice swimming pool. Look at the water reflection, super cool. I'm gonna move around a bit because we need to take a picture from that part also. And here it says, so if you see that error, don't worry because you can try it again. And then it will likely say the next time that the photo could be uploaded successfully. I'm not sure how bad it is if it doesn't upload it. I think it's simply because you will lose it, right? If you reinstall Flight Simulator. But I don't think you will be punished for it because you could see already the check mark over there. So then we're gonna make a picture of this. Which is the Hawkins High School. Pretty cool. Let's see what we need to do in this area. So we completed most of these items. So we can scroll out a bit. There are some items over here, but also where are we? We're here. We can also go into this area because we already did these ones. Only these and these. Driscoll House. So let's, I would say, fly into that direction. Oh, watch out. That was a nice rescue. Hawkins Post. Likely we're going to the shopping center or something. So this could be again, between brackets, an easy one where you fly pretty low. And also you can see some really nicely modeled buildings. Look at this one, right? This, I'm not sure which kind of thing it is. The library. You can see it also if it doesn't accept it. Then you likely need to, say, adjust your L2 a bit. Then we've got that Hawkins Theater. Maybe we need to take it from a different angle or something. I'm not sure. Maybe it's from this angle. Oh, pretty sure that we need to take a screenshot of this one. Or picture. Not a screenshot. Picture of this one. Oh, here we go. The Hawk Theater. Anything else which we can do using this drone? Keep in mind that the drone has a certain, say, range. And in some cases you will hit that range and then you can't fly further away. In that case, go outside of that picture mode, fly a little bit further with the helicopter and then try again. Do we have something over there? Yes, we have. This is likely the police station or something. Continue. What else do we need to do? Oh, we missed one. We need to go to the Hawkins Post. Super important, of course. So let's see if we can make a nice picture from this angle. So these were the items here. So let's hit the escape button again. Driscoll House. That's the only one we need in this area. So let me turn the helicopter a bit and then fly into the direction of Driscoll House. See people dropping off and joining. So for those who are just joining, you're watching a stream where we'll look at the Stranger Things package, downloadable content, which has been released for Flight Simulator 2024. It was released already yesterday. You will get updated scenery, you will get a lot of missions, a lot of photo missions, or the heli tour, and this nice helicopter, right? The Huey helicopter. It comes with multiple liveries. It looks pretty cool, both from the inside as well as the outside. So let me try to figure out if we're going into the correct direction. Let me move around. We had all these items. Yes. All these items. This is our current location. We've got these items. You can see the area is pretty big, right? The area which they covered. So we now need to go back into this area, right? We need to have the Palace Arcade. We need to have the War Zone, the Starcourt Mall, and the Brimburn Steelworks, as well as the McCork and the Weather Top. Those are the items which are left. This is pretty close to what I think we need to complete. Now I need to figure out where I'm flying to. Am I flying into the correct direction? Let me double check. No, we need to turn around the helicopter. Turning around using the Xbox controller. The Xbox controller is definitely the recommended way to, I'd say, use. It's pretty easy to use, so you're not getting frustrated. Likely if you're using one of those, I'd say, controls which you normally would use, for example, for flying a Cessna or maybe even flying a Boeing. Those really don't work nice, I do think, for these kind of missions. So consider buying Xbox controller or maybe another joystick, which will make your life easier. Because using this, I didn't change the default settings. I simply used the normal settings. Also didn't change the sensitivity settings. Simply out of the box settings, and it already works pretty good, as you can see. Picture number 40, the Palace Arcade and the family video. Then close to that was this one. The War Zone. Let me take it from a little bit higher because that should be good enough. And then we're flying into the direction of the mall, which is over there. Pretty big mall, right? Not a lot of cars, to be honest. Maybe the mall is closed or something. And then we need to move to the factory, and then we need to figure out which other items we need to do. Because I was already thinking that we were pretty close to that 46, but we're not. 42, 43, 44, so we need to figure out which ones we missed, because we're still missing 2 items. Hey, the first stuttering, did you see it? It was the first time I experienced stuttering in while flying in Flight Simulator 2024. This is the farm. Since I was, I would say, some playing, so that's, I would say, pretty good. We need to have the Brimburn Steelworks. Then we need to turn to the right. Here we go. Watch out that we're not crashing into the buildings of the farm. And there we've got Brimburn Steel. Also not a lot of cars, right? I'm really surprised by that I didn't have that, I would say, over here. Brimburn Steelworks. Very good. Making the turn. Because we need to go to an item which is, say, pretty far away, if I'm correct. Let me hit the escape button to show you where we are. We're currently here, right? You can see that we completed already a lot of these items. And not all of them, but a lot. We need to go to the Weather Top, at least. And then also need to figure out which ones we missed, because apparently there are more items. But to be honest, I don't see them. Well, first go to the weather top and then let's see where we end at. And that likely is over there, the weather top. Let's see. As you can see, the helicopter also looks really cool. Comes also with this with this Hawkins heli tours. That's one of the liveries. It also comes with the military liveries and the navy liveries, etc. So let's see. We're here. I think it's a pretty cool picture if we take it from here. What a top. Continue. Now the question of course is, which one did we miss? Because we missed one item. Let's go to the map in that case, because I don't want to make this video so lengthy. Well, I like making these very lengthy videos, but I think that a lot of you might have dropped already, and we spent already some serious time online here also. So we've got these items. Also over here. Then we've got this part. Maybe we missed one here. No, we also have that one. Ah, here. Client Mansion. This is the one we need to do. So we are currently over here. So we need to fly into southeast direction. So let's do that. And let's get that last picture. Because I'm curious again if you get an award or something for it. If you complete everything. Because with this, we're on our way to our last picture. Then we got all 46 pictures. We completed all the missions. Well, except the training one, we didn't complete it yet. So it could be that you still need to complete the that mission. So here we go. We're coming pretty close. Let me double check in the view over here. Oh, now we need to fly to the east. So let's turn it a bit. Oh, there it is already. I'm not sure how we missed that one. We missed that one, my friends. So let me know in the chat if you already were successful in completing all the missions. Oh, we need to come closer. Number 46. So we completed everything. We got all the pictures which were there, which were required. There's no, say, kind of bells ringing or something. So likely you won't be receiving something, as it looks like. But hey, it was still fun. So back to the Stranger Things menu. Because based on this, we looked at all the modes. We completed all these pictures, right? You can see all the ones are, I would say, marked as completed. So I'm pretty happy with this. But it also ends this live stream, because I played for, let's say, 1 hour and 45 minutes. Pretty lengthy time. The training mission was, let's say, kind of a nightmare because I crashed. But then luckily we completed those other 5 missions in Murray's missions pretty quick. Tip I want to give you here is use the Xbox controller and then move slowly. Touch those buttons very slowly. If you want to hover, stay around between the 20 and 30. Then you can hover as easy as possible. If you want to increase your altitude, go to 40. For most missions, try to stay below 300 AGL. There's one mission, mission number 5, which is pretty hard. You need to stay at one point below 150 AGL, which is, I would say, kind of scary, but it's doable. So thanks you all for watching, and thanks for all the interaction which I had with several of you, and hope to see you back next time for my next live stream.